You know what's crazy? The same week I started messing around with the Create mod for the first time is the exact same week Create Aeronautics was released. A mod which has been in production for around about 3 years now, and it might just be the greatest Minecraft mod ever. And that's not an exaggeration. I mean, seriously, just the release trailer for this mod on YouTube is fantastic within itself. I have sat down and watched the trailer like 4 different times, it's that good. And this entire mod was made with a team of just 15 people. I mean, in the 6 days since its release, it has accrued close to 1 million downloads. And I am one of them. I have spent the last week experimenting with this mod, and I think it's time to show what evil and horrible things I've managed to create with it. So the bit today I want to really emphasize is the new physics engine they've added to Create Aeronautics. And how this basically works is, let's say we have a block like this. What we can do is we can add some connectors right here and add a rope to it, and then using a physics assembler like this, you can see we now have physics on this block as it dangles. And in fact, we can build on this physical object down like this, and using a physics creative staff, it maintains itself. Isn't this neat? It just goes all over the place. This is a big mining arm I've made, and using this remote control, if I press left and right, I can rotate it, up and down can move it up and down, and shift and space can move the mining arm in and out, which is super cool. So you can just imagine having like a big wall, and then you can have this and like mine up and down and gather materials. I can actually demonstrate this by trying to mine the ground here. But honestly, mining rigs are kind of boring. Why mine ores when you can simply mine villagers? Yes, don't worry, Mr. Villager, this is my surgical implement. Just hold still. You've been having nasty thoughts. You need a bit of a lobotomy. Okay, let's just line this up. Yep. Come on. Is it out of reach? No way. No way. Come on. We're just going to extend it slightly. Yeah, there we go. Damn it. If I actually go to the creative inventory, we can see that every single block in the game has been given a different weight value. So for example, if I search up gold, we can see that this is super heavy and weighs 4 kpg, while wood on the other hand is fairly light and only weighs 0.5 kpg. So to demonstrate this, I simply have some classic scales. Now, our scales are currently perfectly balanced, as you can see in the contraption diagram, where we can not only see our center of mass represented by this dot, but we can actually see the gravity force on the actual weight themselves, being 230 newtons. However, if we were to place a gold block on this side, we can see that the scales immediately start tipping. But of course, if we were then to go to this side and add a whole bunch of gold on this side, it of course then weighs the other side, because, you know, it's a physics engine, of course. This is basically just a more advanced way of doing those crappy YouTube shorts where they balance the block. Have you seen those, like, those crappy videos?
Alright, what's heavier, 1 diamond block or the 9 diamonds required to make the diamond block?
I've got no idea, Mr. Vively. Which one?
A birch door or a birch...
A birch door?
log. I feel like nothing's gonna move here.
Whoa! Now that's what I call quality entertainment. It's like the modern day version of the magic flute. Now one thing I've always wondered is how much do I weigh? You know, the pig. Because while I think I keep a nice diet, there's been some people online which are incredibly mean. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a 1 meter block of gold, one of the heaviest substances known to man, and on this side, I'll just put me. What we'll do now is we'll simply enable the physics, and we should see that... Why am I balanced? The physics is off, right? What? Excuse me? Oh, and now it goes to the other side, huh? Unbelievable. I hate this mod. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a mechanical drill on like this, and now I'm just going to add this to the physics engine so we have this drill. Then I'm going to add a creative motor and then turn it up so the drill turns really fast. And then simply to finish it off, place a handle on top. What we have right here is a handheld weapon that we can pick up and start throwing about, especially towards sheep. Yeah, take that. I see my next target. Hey, Mr. Sheep. One of my favorite things I've made is basically a big ragdoll of myself. All I've done is I've made these big blocks as physics objects, and I've connected the limbs with ropes. So we can see the arm connected there, we have the head connected with 2 connections there, another arm, and then we have the legs. But if I actually pick this up, we can actually add physics to each of the parts. I had him pose so it looked like he sat down. We actually have like a working ragdoll of myself right here. He looks like he's dancing. Do, 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 do. Woo! There he goes! Woo! Because while people are like making physics contraptions out of all this stuff, I don't think anyone has really experimented with the idea of just using physics props as like decorations. Like, you can make a really cool, like, sign for maybe, like, a player shop or something. And just have, like, a ragdoll sitting about. Have him posing. Look at that. He's just chill like that. He's chilling. Can you rip his head off? Oh, God. Oh, God, I think I've broke my neck. He's dead. Now, one thing I did make is a big catapult which can move, and I've actually got the controller saved for it down here. So with this controller, what I can do is I can turn the wheels left to turn it, and I can actually go forwards and backwards with the back wheels. Now the reason it's not moving right now is because I currently have it physics locked, because I don't want to move it. I have it set up in a very specific direction, which I'll show. But if I press spacebar, we can see that this big arm actually will fling stuff. So once again, we'll go to my favorite, a big gold block, because it's heavy. I'm going to pick this up and I'm going to move it right back to the edge of the arm. Now, when I use the controller, we can see that it just absolutely flings it. It's impressive. But the reason I've got it set up in a specific direction is I want to show something, right? It's one thing to throw a gold block, it's another thing to throw the player. But if I construct a giant 3x3 gold block like this right here, and I just place a seat on it, I then move the gold block so it's like right snug in the hand right there. What I can then do is sit on it, and when I press spacebar on the controller, it should fling us really far. And we'll demonstrate it right now. And we go spinning. A better way to demonstrate this is on the map, and you can see, look how fast we're going. We've actually gone over 1,000 blocks already in that short amount of time. But here's what's cool about it. I have done some tests with this previously, and we'll actually land in a specific spot. Look, you can see they are my previous attempts right here. And the only reason it's moved slightly back is because I did accidentally like tweak the forward direction of the thing when I was moving it earlier. It's why I physics locked it. These two landed right next to each other. Which means not only can you use a catapult as a crazy amount of like transportation, it's specific transportation. You could use this to go to a specific location. If you're very precise with it, you might even be able to make it so that you actually land in the arms of another catapult, which could then catapult you back once you're done doing whatever you're doing over here. Which is just bizarre. The idea of using catapults as transportation? And of course, I'm going to demonstrate this because I know people are immediately thinking I should do this. I have had some issue trying to throw TNT. Now, the interesting thing about how this physics mod does TNT is physically affected TNT automatically detonates on impact, which is super useful. But I have had issues trying to use this in a catapult, as I will demonstrate. If I just place some TNT in the arms like that and be very delicate with it, if I actually try and fling this, and I'll activate physics. If I actually try and fling this, it actually detonates in the air. It has a bit of issues. I have instead come up with a different method to fling TNT. So now we've got the ice on there, what I can actually do is build up a big wooden pillar like this. So as the arm actually goes up and swings around, the ice will collide with this wooden barrier, break, separating the TNT, which will continue its momentum offwards into whatever our target is over there. And now when I hit the spacebar, the TNT should get launched. In 3, 2, 1. Oh, it didn't go very far. But you get the idea, right? Look, guys, I'm sure you leave me with this for another week, and you'll have a fully automated anti-air defense. Just give me time. Just give me time. I'm still learning. Open wide. Yum, yum. Here comes the aeroplane. So basically what I have is I have a big gold bell on a rope, and on the inside, with another rope, I have another bell over here. And the idea is, as I swing the big bell, the small bell inside will actually ring the big bell. And we can actually have like a physical like tower going on, right? So if I flick this lever, it should start spinning the bell. Oh, there we go. It's starting to ring. Ding, da, ding, da, ding. I should say at this point, I have no idea how bells work in the real world. I assume this is what's happening inside Big Ben at all times, right? But what I can do by adding all these physics assemblers on these individual glazed terracotta is hopefully pretty obviously make a working pool table. So there's our triangle thing. And then for the cue ball, I've used a quartz block because these actually slide quite well on the actual ice. And in fact, what I've done is I've layered the sides of the pool table with slime, and I can demonstrate this. If I hit it, it actually bounces off with decent momentum. So what I can do is I can place down a cue ball, like probably, I think about here, right? And I can actually have a game of pool in Minecraft. So, boom, there's that breakage. There we go. And then obviously the players would have to take turns hitting the pool tables like left and right, red and yellow. I think about there. Oh! I got it in! Dude! Oh! I'm actually... Oh, that's amazing! That's actually... Okay, the last thing I want to show today involves a wooden plank. So if I pick this up, what I have up here is a bunch of things known as optical sensors. And what I've actually got them filtered to is wooden planks. So you'll see we have these big red lasers over here. What these basically do is if these detect a wooden plank below them, such if I place one right there, it sends a redstone signal to the top and thus plays a note block. So I can demonstrate it by going like do, do. And this also works with the physics. So you'll notice that's pretty goddamn cool for the possibilities. But the one I thought of is what I have over here is a swivel bearing. And positioned down here, I have this black record disc right here. Then using a slime ball, I can connect it to the swivel bearing and then put on physics. I now have a record player. In fact, if I turn on this lever, the record player will spin. And of course, you might already figured it out, I can place wood planks down on this record and play us a bit of a tune, a custom record disc. So if I flick the lever, oh, turn it up, turn it up. They should sign me up. This could be a mini game somehow, like running. Oh my god. Oh, and then like that would like knock you off somehow. Oh, dude. And then what you could do, right, is you could have like a mechanism which turns this off and then like disconnects the record from like a big machine and then like actually like flings it elsewhere. You could then have like a multiple of those discs in a big jukebox, and then a big mechanical arm collects the next one and then like inserts it and then starts playing it again. You could have like a big mechanical jukebox. Oh my god. So while today's episode was a bit scatterbrained and all over the place, I just wanted to showcase how cool this mod is, because by gods, I have so much fun stuff for this mod planned in the future. So, and this is my excuse right now, so
You should subscribe to find out. Ugh.
I don't really have an outro this time. I guess we could go look at Michelangelo's David's penis again. What?